On the behalf of Government Engineering College Banswara, I Dr. Sunil Gadwal welcomes you once again in video lecture classes. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic about fuel. This topic covers having 3 or 4 important questions which are frequently comes in exam. One is sometime importance of fuel, its classification, characteristics, and carbonization. And one carbonization important method is Otto-Hoffmann oven method or cracking. In the cracking has 2 types, a fixed bed cracking and moving bed cracking. And this moving bed catalytic cracking is oftenly coming in the examination, and one of the most important topic which every time examiner asks question is bomb calorimeter. So either they will ask the mechanism of bomb calorimeter or some explanation and one numerical problem based on combustion. So hoping that will enjoy this video lecture class and understood the topic very well. So we will start one by one. So let's start with the definition of fuel. Any substance which on combustion provides energy, light and heat is known as fuel. Once in RTU asked define the organic fuel, characteristic of good organic fuel, and describe the Otto-Hoffmann method. Most of the students were confused about organic fuels. So the definition of organic fuel is any organic material which provide us energy, light and heat on combustion known as organic fuel. Origin of fuel. Natural resources are the best source of fuel, and from there we can extract solid, liquid and gaseous fuel. So classification of fuel. Fuel are classified on the basis of occurrence and state of aggregation. So first we discuss about on the basis of occurrence. On the basis of occurrence, fuels can be classified as primary fuel or natural fuel and secondary fuel or artificial fuel. So sometime examiner will ask the write short note on primary fuel or describe the secondary fuel as a short note. So you must not confused about the terms and all. So primary fuel or natural fuel which are found in nature and we are using as such without doing any modification in them. The example of this category are wood, peat, coal, crude, petroleum and natural gases. Secondary fuel. The fuel which are derived from the primary fuel are known as secondary fuel or artificial fuel. In this we are taking fuel from the nature and doing some modification. Suppose we are taking wood base, then we heat in the low concentration of oxygen, then this wood will char and convert into corresponding charcoal. And if we heat charcoal in the absence of air at higher temperature, it will convert into coke. Similarly, kerosene which we are isolating from crude oil, coal gas and producer gases are other artificial fuels. So second category on the basis of which we can classify the fuel are state of aggregation. On the basis of Physical state fuel can be classified as solid fuel, liquid fuel, and gaseous fuel. Classification of fuel can be summarized as so here you can see this is the fuel on the basis of occurrence. As we had discussed in previous slide, there are two types: primary fuel or natural fuel and secondary fuel or artificial fuels. Now both the fuels are on the we can further classify it on the basis of aggregation, and these are solid fuel, liquid fuel, and gaseous fuel. So in natural fuel, when we are discussing about solid fuel, so directly we are taking from nature, and the examples are wood, coal, and peat. The liquid fuel as a crude oil we are extracting, and the gaseous fuel are natural gas. Similarly, the secondary fuel or artificial fuel, which derived from the primary fuels, and on the basis of state of irrigation, these secondary fuels are also further classified in three categories. One is solid, second is liquid, and the third one is gaseous fuel. In solid, we can convert coal into coke, like wood into charcoal. Similarly, in crude oil, by doing fractional distillation, we can isolate kerosene, diesel, petrol. And in gaseous fuel, from the natural gas, we separate coal gas, water gas, biogas, and oil gas, etc. These are the artificial fuels. So characteristic of a good fuels. This is also frequently examiner will ask, writes a short note on the characteristic of good fuel. So student must aware about this fact. So the good quality of fuel must have the following characteristic: high calorific value. A fuel should produce large amount of heat, energy, and light on combustion per unit of mass or per unit of volume. And this is known as calorific value. If a fuel has higher calorific value, it means it is a better fuel. Moisture content. The fuel should have lower moisture content, because higher moisture content will lower the effective calorific value of fuel. What is the meaning of this? Suppose if we try to burn a green piece of wood, then it will take more time, and it will release very less energy, because in wood, green wood, around 40% parts of moisture is present. So when we try to burn in the green wood piece, then we have to do a lot of effort, and when it's on combustion, release the energy. That energy first utilize to remove the moisture content from the wood. So most of the energy will utilize to remove the trapped water in wood fuel. Next is ignition temperature. Ignition temperature is the lowest temperature at which the fuel must be heated so that it start burning. The ignition temperature of fuel must be moderate. Lower ignition temperature is very harmful for storage and transportation of fuel, because it can cause fire, while higher ignition temperature cause difficulty in ignition or burning of fuel. As most of the students are aware that if the ignition temperature is very low, for example diethyl ether or acetone, these are organic substance. If you open the bottle in our nation, some of the areas temperature will reach in summer around 46, 47, 48 degrees centigrade, while the boiling point of these two substances are around 28 degrees centigrade. So as soon as we open the bottle, the vapors of this fuel will travel in the entire room or entire atmosphere. As soon as a small spark, even somebody will give you missed call on the mobile phone, they will catch the fire and it will be very panic. So the fuel must not have a lower ignition temperature, and if it have a higher ignition temperature, then also very difficult to start the burning of fuel. Cost of fuel. Fuel should be readily available in large quantity at very low cost. For example, crude oil. Nowadays, this is true that our nation we also having crude oil, some of the part in Rajasthan and in Mumbai highway, but maximum of the part we are transporting from Middle East, and we have to pay a lot of amount for that transportation. That's why ultimately it is costing more to common people. So if the fuel is readily available in local market, then it will be very cheap. Smoke. Fuel must burn in air without smoke and more efficiently. Then ash content. The ash content of fuel should be low as prescribed, as because disposal of ash is difficult and ash increases the cost of the fuel, because ultimately the weight of fuel depend on ash content. Suppose in the power generation plants we are doing the combustion of coal, and metric tons of ash is forming as a byproducts. So in that particular plant it is very difficult to, or has to invest more money uh, to dump the from ash as a byproduct from the electricity generation side too far away. So the expense ultimately on the fuel will increase. Control of combustion. The combustion of fuel should be such that it can be easily controlled or stopped. Then velocity of combustion. Velocity of combustion of any kind of fuel should be moderate, because too low velocity of combustion can cause loss of heat, and the high velocity of combustion can wastage of fuel. Volatile content. Fuel should have low volatile matter content, because high volatile matter content reduce the calorific value of fuel, as we have discussed. I'm taking the example of moisture in wood piece. Fuel must have a unique size. It is in solid state and easy to transport and storage properties. Harmless combustion products. On the combustion, fuel should not produce any kind of harmful byproducts, because these products are having adverse effect on human health and environment. Sometimes coal on combustion produce harmful gases like carbon monoxide, sulfur oxide, H2S, HCN, phosgene and methane. All these are poisonous, and we had here, and sometimes it's coming in news also, that people during the winter duration using coal to warm the room, to increase the room temperature, and they has in closed room the concentration of oxygen will decrease because the oxygen will utilize for combustion of fuel, and these harmful gases, these poisonous gases will increase in the atmosphere of room. If somebody is consuming that air, then these poisonous gases will harm him. So these are the points which we have to understood very well, and in next classes we will discuss about solid fuel. Hoping that you had understood the topic very well. Thank you.